Sir, please start.
I feel really elated and overjoyed to introduce the first physics lecture for first year intermediate students as a part of this webinar sessions that were started by our additional director, Sri Satyan Reddy sir, and our joint director, Sri Rajiv Garu, to benefit the students who largely belong to the rural Telangana. And I really feel very happy to introduce one of my seniors. I may say that he's an ex-colleague to me, Sri N. Venkata Subramanian Garu. Subramanian Garu is a well-noted, a well-appreciated physics faculty in several corporate colleges like Narayana Junior College, Nalanda, and Sri Chaitanya as well. It is really it's a privilege that we are having him today as a part of the modern school fraternity because he has worked as a subject matter expert for the e-learning company Helix, or that's a subsidiary of LearnNext.com technologies. Okay, so sir has also extended his services in our sister organization TSWRIEIS. Okay, so I request Subramaniam sir to start the first year physics class. Sir, this is the first session, so I'd be very happy that if you give an overall view of the subject, what students are going to learn in this academic year. Over to you, Subramaniam sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, respected principal, sir, coordinator, Garu, and all first year students. I'm very happy to be presenting the first session of this webinar series for junior intermediate students. It is a very happy occasion for me because I am able to connect again with all the students through this particular platform provided by our model schools organization. It's a very happy thing that through this particular medium we are able to continue our learning process. Teaching learning process should continue, and the student should move forward in his life using whatever medium is available for him. So with this, I will start my session. So welcome children once again to the webinar session for the intermediate first year physics unit 1 part 1 of the lesson physical world. So I will begin the session with giving you an overview of what is there in this lesson. So overview of unit 1. What is physics? Scope and excitement of physics. Physics, technology and society. Fundamental forces in nature. Nature of physical laws. So these are the topics on which the first unit is based. Let us move on, children. The learning objectives for this particular lesson. What is physics? Scope of physics. Physics, technology and society. So before I actually go into the lesson, I would like to share a small thing with all of you. In junior intermediate, over the years I have observed that we are receiving children from 10th class background, both the media. both English medium as well as Telugu medium. And it is a known fact that medium should not be a barrier for learning process. So whatever be the medium, physics is such a fun subject to learn, and it's so easy and so interesting. That is how I got pulled into physics. Over the years, I have taught many children, and trust me, children, language or medium is not a barrier to learn the subject. You must have interest in the subject, and you must observe the things around you, and that's what makes your learning perfect. Observation and practice, both the things are very, very important. Textbook reading is a must for any student of intermediate. When the student reads the textbook and he is able to prepare his own notes for that particular lesson, then he will gain complete thorough knowledge of that particular topic. So this has been my method of teaching the children over the years. So I have observed that when the student is able to prepare notes on his own, then he becomes thorough in that particular topic. And whenever you are listening to a particular topic, please make a note of the important points what the lecturer is telling in that particular lesson. By making a notes of what you are learning, you will become thorough in that particular subject. So make the best use of this webinar session and move forward in your subject. So let us move on, children. So what do you see, children? Yes, very good. That's a lovely photograph of something you all know. Yes, I was also very inspired in my childhood seeing the liftoff of a rocket. So in my childhood, whenever I saw a rocket taking off in the TV when they were showing through some news or something, that inspired me a lot. So whenever you see a rocket, you see some science behind it, yes or not? So what is the science behind the liftoff of a rocket? You have studied in your school level. Yes, some of you might have guessed it right. Newton's laws. So the liftoff of a rocket is based on Newton's laws of motion. So let's move on. Let me show you something else also. Wow, there are two nice photographs on your screen, children. You see, there are two nice photographs. One is the photograph of a sunset, and another one is the photograph of a nice blue sky. Is it not lovely? And whenever I observe these things, they remind me of some science I learned at the school level. We all have learned, yes or not? So, did you learn the reasons for the redness of the sky during the sunset? Yes, you learned it in school level. That's right. And the blueness of the sky during dry days, that also you have learned. So, see, so many things you have already learned. Now take a look at this simple activity. What are we doing? We are rubbing a scale against dry hair, and the dry hair is able to attract some small pieces of paper. Lovely, is it not? We all were very, very excited seeing this particular activity which our teachers performed at the school level. Very, very interesting. Science is such an interesting subject. In that, physics is very, very interesting. Me being a physics teacher, I am always excited about activities. So let's move on. So till now you have seen some particular photographs on your screen which were connecting to your school level. So I assure you that there are topics which you are going to learn in your intermediate first year and second year. Most of the topics are an extension of what you learned at the school level. So whatever you learned at school level, like Newton's laws or motion or gravitation or the heat, so these topics they are going to be again present at intermediate level. Ray optics, similarly, you are also going to have topics linked to electricity. These are all the topics which you learned already at the school level, and these are going to be again present at intermediate level also. And when you are learning, you will feel very comfortable by looking at these topics. And children, if I am uh, extending the discussion, on the screen you are able to see a lovely photograph taken from the space. Yes or not? Our beautiful earth. And there is a satellite also. Why did I show this to you? Yes, children, that's right. This topic is there in our intermediate. The satellite motion. The satellite is revolving around the earth. This satellite you are seeing, yes or not? This satellite is revolving around the earth. We will study about satellite motion as part of our intermediate physics in the first year. Again, you see one more lovely photograph I am showing to you. What are you seeing, children? Nice water drops on a lotus leaf. There are two things here which immediately come to my mind. As a student of science, what did I tell you? You must observe things. You must observe things around you. And whenever you observe things, that is when your mind starts asking questions. Yes or not? So just seeing is not enough. You have to observe the things. That is when your mind will start asking the questions. Even if it is a very small question also, don't be afraid to ask children. That is how your science will develop. That is how your reasoning will develop. So coming back to the photograph. So water drops, you see the water drops? They are all spherical in shape. Yes or not? See the shape of these water drops? How are they? They are all spherical. Even when the raindrops are falling also, they are going to be spherical. Spherical meaning like a ball. So raindrops are, whenever they are falling, they appear like tiny balls. So why is the shape spherical only? That is the doubt which comes to our mind. Is there some reason for it? Is there some reason for the drops being spherical? The drops are always spherical. They are not some square shaped or they are not triangle shaped. Have you ever seen a raindrop or water drop being triangle shaped? No. Then you will tell, sir, what are you talking? Have you ever seen raindrops being triangle shaped? No. They are always spherical shaped. There is some reason behind it. The reason behind them being spherical shaped is a phenomenon known as surface tension, about which you learn in the first year intermediate. Similarly, if you see these raindrops are not sticking to the lotus leaf, then again we will get it out. Why these raindrops are not sticking to the lotus leaf? So that is, there is a reason for that also. The reason is again the phenomena of surface tension, about which you will learn in detail in this particular first year intermediate. So see, so many topics are there which will arouse your interest in the subject. There are so many things which we need to observe, which we need to learn. When we are observing things carefully, our interest will grow. So let me move on. So if you see now on the screen, you are able to see a wheel. Yes or not? A wheel is there. And if you are observing carefully, this is a wooden wheel, children. A wooden wheel with iron casting over it. See, this is iron casting. This iron casting has been fixed over the wooden wheel. So how do we make the iron fix over the wooden wheel? This iron rim is fixed over the wooden wheel. What is the process behind it? If you know, many children studying in our schools are from rural background. You might have seen how they are fixing the iron rim over the wooden wheel. They will heat it and place it over the wooden wheel. So when we heat the iron, it will expand. And in that expanded state, they will keep it on the wooden wheel. This is directly connected to our lives. So in this, what is the physics we are learning? We are learning that a metal, when it is heated, it is expanding. So that is a part of thermal physics. Thermal meaning heat. So whenever we heat a metal, it expands generally. And in that expanded form, we will keep it on the wooden wheel. That is how we are utilizing the physics, what we are learning, to our daily life. So whenever we learn something in physics, we apply it in our daily life for the betterment of our society. So again, continuing forward with our lesson, what are we seeing here? A lovely photograph of a soap bubble with colors on it. So many nice colors are there on that soap bubble. And again you see soap bubble is spherical in shape. So again a doubt comes in my mind. Why is this soap bubble spherical in shape? And why are the colors forming on it? So all these questions, the answers are there in the lessons what we will learn in first year and second year intermediate. So the reason for the soap bubble being spherical is surface tension. And the colors forming on the soap bubble are an optical phenomenon, which we will learn about in our second year intermediate. So as we are seeing, we are learning a lot of things about science, is or not? So what is science actually? Science is exploring, experimenting, and predicting from what we see around us. Science is exploring. The word exploring means finding out. Experimenting. Experimenting means performing an experiment under some conditions. Predicting. Predicting means try to assuming the theory behind it. So science is exploring, experimenting, and predicting from what we see around us. Children, I would like to remind you that since both the media children are attending this webinar session, I am trying to keep the language as simple as possible, and wherever there are some new difficult words, I will try to explain the meaning to you in a simpler form. Okay? Oh, the moment I say experiment, immediately on the screen what is coming? A nice experiment what you performed at school level. Yes or not? The experiment with the lens. So on the screen, what are you seeing, children? A student is performing an experiment with a lens and is trying to catch the image on the white screen. Not only that, there is a scale here. Yes or not? What is the purpose of the scale, children? To make some measurement. And easy Noting down the measurement? Yes, he is also noting down the measurements, what he is making. Does this remind you of something? Yes, you are right. It reminds you of the lab activity what you have performed at school level. Do you remember your lab activity for lens and mirrors at 10th class level? You were having a table in which you were filling the values. Yes or not? So, not only doing the experiment is important, but noting the observations of that experiment is important. So, when we note down the observations, we will try to analyze that particular observations and come to a conclusion. That is the purpose of the experiment. So these are all a part of the scientific method. So what is scientific method, children? Let us try to see. The scientific method consists of the following steps. Number one, systematic observations. Number two, controlled experiments. Number three, qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Number four, mathematical modeling. Number five, prediction and verification of theories. So, if you see carefully, the first one, systematic observations. Systematic observations means when you observe on something, we should think about it and make a proper observation and note down the observation. Controlled experiments. What does controlled experiment mean? Performing an experiment under a set of conditions. Like for example, here you are seeing you are performing the lab activity inside the lab. Yes or not? Under some conditions. So that set of conditions under which you are performing the experiment, that is what is called controlled experiments. Qualitative and quantitative reasoning. So what is qualitative and quantitative reasoning? So trying to analyze the result, what we have noted down. You are noting down some particular observations, yes or not? Those observations you are trying to analyze and trying to come about some reasoning. You will try to see how the values are. And like for example, in your school level, when you performed this lab activity, you saw that as the object distance increases, image distance decreases. So such type of reasoning we are doing whenever we do some experiment. So mathematical modeling. What is mathematical modeling? Trying to arrive at a formula basing on the observations and data what we are collecting. Next, prediction and verification of theories. So basing on the above steps, we are trying to predict something and trying to give some theory. So these are all the steps which are a part of the scientific method. I hope all of you have understood. Okay, let me move on, children. Oh, a thinking man, my favorite person, because we should keep our mind thinking, yes or not? So immediately the question comes, what comes to our mind is, sir is taking physics class. What is physics, first of all? What is physics actually? So let me try to answer the question. Physics is a basic discipline in the category of natural sciences. So natural sciences. Natural sciences means the science about the nature around us. So the nature around us, whatever science it has, physics is a part of that natural sciences. You know that in natural sciences, there are also other wings like chemistry and biology. So physics, chemistry, biology, these are all a part of the natural sciences. So physics deals with the study of basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. So this is what is the meaning of physics, children. Physics deals with the study of the basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. Physics deals with the study of the basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. So here we are telling that it is a study of basic laws of nature. What are the basic laws of nature? For example, gravitation. Gravitation is a basic law of nature. Yes or not? It's an example what I am taking. So physics deals with the study of such basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. Manifestation in different phenomena meaning how we are applying these laws to understand these particular phenomena, how they are being applied in the different phenomena. Phenomena means natural occurrences, what we are able to see. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of physics. So physics is dealing with the basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. Let us move on, children. Physics is basically classified as classical physics and quantum physics. Physics has mainly two parts, basically, let us say classical physics and quantum physics. So let me try to make you understand what is classical physics and what is quantum physics. So classical physics. So what is classical physics? It deals with macroscopic domain. It deals with the macroscopic domain. So to make you understand this, I am taking an example of a carom board here. Are you able to see the carom board, children? Yes. You are able to see the coins on that particular carom board. And a player is playing with the carom board. Yes or not? Are we able to see the coins or the striker, all these things, or the carom board? Yes, we are able to see those objects with our human eyes, naked eyes. That means that they are large enough to be visible to the human eyes. Such large objects are called macroscopic. They are called macroscopic. Macroscopic meaning large. Macroscopic. Here macroscopic meaning large. So classical physics deals with macroscopic domain. The word domain meaning area. So whatever physics deals with the macroscopic domain. Domain meaning space or area, or it means that macroscopic domain actually here meaning that large objects, the physics that deals with large objects. Like here you are seeing a coin strikes a striker is striking a coin, the coin begins to move. Yes or not? The motion of the coin. Similarly, when we are playing cricket, a ball hits, that is a bat hits a ball. All these things, they are visible to the human eyes. And we are able to see that there is some physical phenomena occurring whenever such things happen. Like whenever we are having a cricket game being played, the ball is hit by the bat. That means a force is applied by the bat on the ball and the ball flies off. So such things are dealt under classical physics. The next one, quantum physics. So quantum physics deals with a microscopic domain. Microscopic meaning not visible to the human eyes. Smaller than the objects which are very, very small, which are not visible to the human eye. Such objects we are dealing in quantum physics. Like, for example, electrons, protons, neutrons, nuclei, and other fundamental particles. They are all being dealt under the microscopic domain. That is what is quantum physics. To make you understand that, I am using an example of, if you are seeing, this is a familiar example to all of you, yes or not? What is this example, children? Yes, what you see on the screen? Yes, you are right. This is nothing but a street light, and a vapor lamp is there. So a vapor lamp produces light. This is an atomic phenomenon. It's a phenomena which occurs at the level of the atoms. And this we are using to produce light. And if you are seeing that we are utilizing in the street lights. So this is what quantum physics deals with. As an example, I have used that. So since it is connected with your daily life. So as you are seeing the examples what we are discussing, many of the examples are connected with your daily life. That is how interesting our physics is. So let me move on, children. Again, classical physics, there are four parts into it. Broad, we can classify broadly as mechanics, thermodynamics, optics, and electrodynamics. So classical physics has how many parts? Four parts. Mechanics, thermodynamics, optics, and electrodynamics. Let me explain each one of them. So on the screen again you are seeing the rocket lifting off. What are the rocket? What is the principle behind the lift off of the rocket? Yes, your guess is right. At your school level you have studied Newton's laws of motion. So the motion of lifting of a rocket, that is studied under mechanics. So what does mechanics deal with? It deals with motion of particles, rigid and deformable bodies, and general systems of particles. It is based on Newton's laws of motion and law of gravitation, that is universal law of gravitation. So if you see, mechanics deals with motion of the particles. What is motion of the particles? Movement of the particles. Rigid and deformable bodies. Rigid meaning whose shape and size we cannot change. Deformable meaning whose shape we can change. And general systems of particles. So the physics which deals with all these things is called mechanics. It's called as mechanics. And it is based on Newton's laws of motion and law of gravitation. So let me move on. What do you see on your screen, children? Yes, that's right, a railway engine, and that too a steam engine. So nowadays you are able to see that there are different types of engine. Locomotive, diesel locomotive engine is there. Similarly, which run on electricity, that is electric engine is also there. So I am showing you the old model, which is the steam engine. Yes or not? So what is the connection of this steam engine with our intermediate physics? Yes, there is some connection, children. What is that? Thermodynamics. So here, whatever steam is being produced, that is doing the work in pushing the engine forward. That is, the locomotive moves forward with the help of the steam produced inside the engine. This is what we will deal in thermodynamics. So what does thermodynamics deals with? It deals with changes in internal energy, temperature, entropy, etc. of the system through external work and transfer of heat. So these are new words to all of you children. It deals with changes in internal energy. This word you all know, temperature. Entropy is again a new word. Yes or not? So the part of physics which deals with changes in internal energy, thermodynamics, temperature, entropy, etc. of the system through external work and transfer of heat is called thermodynamics. So here the external work, what is external work here? Whatever steam is getting produced, that is able to push the engine forward. That means it is doing some external work. And there is transfer of heat taking place between the system and the surroundings. Here the system meaning whatever engine is there, and the surroundings meaning whatever surroundings are there. So I hope you are following. Let me move on, children. What are you seeing? Yes, that's right. A telescope. What do you use a telescope for? You use it for seeing distant objects. You can also use the telescope for seeing the astronomical objects. What are astronomical objects, children? The stars, the planets. Yes or not? All these things are astronomical objects. Planets. You can all view this particular astronomical objects using your telescope. And you can also see distant objects on the land also. So why did I choose a telescope here? What does a telescope use inside it? It uses lenses. You studied about convex lens, concave lens, yes or not? So it uses lenses to allow you to see distant object. So lenses means immediately what comes to our mind? Optics. That's right. Optics. So the next branch of our classical physics is optics, children. So what is optics? It deals with the phenomena involving light. So in your earlier slide, did we not see a nice soap bubble with colors on it? Yes or not? The colors on it are an optical phenomena. That is what is called optics. It is explained by using optics, children. So when we are seeing the nice colors on the soap bubble, that we are explaining using the optics in classical physics. So let me move on. So again you are seeing something very familiar to you. Familiar, yes or not? Very familiar. What is that? A bar magnet. And what are these? What are these, children? Compasses. Yes or not? What is a compass used for? Did you not do this activity in school level? Yes, yes, you are right. These are nothing but compass, magnetic compass used to plot the magnetic lines of force, also known as field lines. This activity you have done at school level, yes or not? This is also there in intermediate, children. That is what I am telling to you. Most of the topics in intermediate are going to be an extension of what you learnt at school level, yes or not? So if you see carefully, we are showing a bar magnet, and a bar magnet is a nothing but a magnetic system, yes or not? So the part of physics which deals with these things is electrodynamics. So what does electrodynamics deal with, children? It deals with electric and magnetic phenomena associated with charged and magnetic bodies. So charged bodies and magnetic bodies, whatever phenomena are there, they are all dealt under electrodynamics. So you will have different types of phenomena. You studied electricity at school level, yes or not? Electricity. Do you remember all those things what you studied at school level? Like current electricity, electric current, electric potential difference. All these things, they are covered under electrodynamics. Similarly, magnetic materials. All these things are covered under electrodynamics. So, these four parts are there in the classical physics. I hope now you have understood what is classical physics. So now tell me, what are the four parts of classical physics? One is mechanics, another one thermodynamics, the next one optics, and the next one electrodynamics. So what do you see? Yes, something which all of us have learned. The moment we see this, immediately you will tell, sir, these electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Everybody has learned. We see so happy seeing the image. The electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Yes or not? This is a familiar image to us. So electrons, nuclei, neutrons, protons, the physics which deals with these objects which are microscopic. Are electrons visible to us? Protons visible to us? No. So microscopic. They are not visible to the human eye. That is what is called microscopic domain. The physics which deals with these things is quantum physics. So what does quantum physics deal with, children? It deals with the constitution and structure of matter at the scales of atoms and nuclei and their interaction with different probes such as electrons, photons, and other elementary particles. So it deals with constitution of matter and structure of matter. So matter is made up of, if you see at atomic level, what is matter made up of? Electrons, protons, and neutrons. At the scale of atoms and nuclei, scale means level. Here the scale of atoms and nuclei mean level of atoms and nuclei. A very, very tiny level. Very tiny level. Do you know what is the size of a nucleus? Very, very, very tiny. Such tiny level. Whatever physics we are dealing with, such tiny objects, invisible objects, that is called quantum physics. And quantum physics, we study about the interaction between these electrons, photons, and other elementary particles. Elementary particles means which are very, very small and fundamental particles. They are all nothing but coming under this quantum physics. So this physics also is helpful to us in different ways, as I have explained earlier. So let me move on. So in the if you see, now I am trying to give you an overview of the different technologies what we are coming across and the different scientific principles which are behind these technologies. We know that whatever science we are learning or whatever physics we are learning, they must be somehow useful to us. That is what is a basic idea of science, yes or not? To make our life more simple or to be more beneficial to us in some way or the other. So here I am listing you some examples of the technologies and the principles behind them. So steam engine, the principle behind is laws of thermodynamics. Nuclear reactor, the principle behind it is controlled nuclear fission. This you have studied at school level, yes or not? Radio and television, the principle behind is generation, propagation, and detection of electromagnetic waves. So whenever we see television or cable television, nowadays everybody is seeing. Sometimes the TV goes off. What do we tell? Sir, signal is not there. What is signal here? The nothing but the wave. Nothing but the wave, children. The wave is the signal. So even your mobile phone everybody knows now. Yes or not? Mobile phone. In mobile phone also, we are using latest technologies. Sometimes you use the, in normal language, you tell signal is not there. The tower is not there. Huh? All these things, they are connected to the physics what we are learning. So whatever physics we are learning, they are connected to the technologies what we are using, children. Rocket propulsion, Newton's laws of motion. Electric generator, what is the principle behind it? Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. This you studied at school level, yes or not? Rocket propulsion and electric generator. So let me move on. So see, you see on the screen, many of the technologies what you are seeing, the principles you have already learned. Yes or not? So interesting. That is how we are using them. So there is a link between technology and science. Now, continuing with the table, here, hydroelectric power, children. In your school level, did you learn? Yes or not? That's right. What is the principle for hydroelectric power? Conversion of gravitational potential energy into electrical energy. So here if you observe carefully, we are seeing that gravitational energy is converted into electrical energy. Hydroelectric power means dams, children. You might have seen number of dams, Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, Srisailam Power Project, yes or not? All these things, what do you produce there? Hydroelectric power. And how is hydroelectric power produced? When the water is released, it will power the turbine. And in the turbine, we are able to convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Yes or not? This you studied at school level. Next, aeroplane. What is aeroplane? Principle, Bernoulli's principle in fluid dynamics. This is new to you, and this you will be learning in your first year intermediate. Next, sonar. What is sonar? Reflection of, principle is reflection of ultrasonic waves. This you studied in school level in 9th class. Yes or not? Next, optical fibers, total internal reflection of light. This also you studied in school level. Optical fiber, one of the most important technologies in our lives now. Our mobile technologies or internet, all these things are based on your optical fibers. Electron microscope, wave nature of electrons. Photocell, photoelectric effect. The last two you will be learning in your intermediate. So children, in the last slide and this slide, I have given you a list of technologies and the principle behind them. I have only listed a few of them. There are many more technologies, and you need to learn about the principles behind them. Very interesting, very interesting, children. Trust me. You are going to be literally pulled into it. The more you learn about the technologies and principle behind it, the more you will like reading about it. You keep exploring through different media what you have. You can search Google, yes or not? You can search Google for different types of new technologies and learn about them. Who may know, you also may become a scientist in your future and you will invent something. That is a day we are waiting for. Yes or not? We will feel so happy if you yourself become an inventor of some new technology. So let me move on, children. So I will like to conclude this session by explaining the pattern of the physics question paper to all of you. Maximum marks for the physics paper is 60 marks. There are going to be 3 sections, children, in your physics paper. Section A, Section B, Section C. So how many sections are there? 3 sections. Section A, Section B, Section C. Section A will have 10 very short answer questions. Very short answer meaning the answer is limited to 2 or 3 sentences. Okay? And answer all the 10 questions in this particular section. There is no choice given to you in this section, children. And each question will carry 2 marks. And how many questions are there? 10 questions. 2 into 10, 20 marks is the weightage of this section A. Now, section B, 8 short answer questions will be given to you. Short answer meaning the answer will be about 1 page or a small derivation like that. Okay. And you need to answer only 6 out of the 8 questions. Only 6 out of the 8 questions. So there is a choice for you in this particular section. Each question will carry how many marks? 4 marks. 6 fours are 24 marks. Okay, 6 fours are 24 marks. Is the weightage of section B. And section C, long answer questions. How many will be given to you? 3 long answer questions will be given to you. And answer any 2 questions, children. Each will carry 8 marks. 2 8s are 16 marks. So these long answer questions are the essay type questions, what we call as essay type. The answer will be sufficiently long, about 2 or 3 pages, or a lengthy derivation. So such questions are called long answer questions. And such questions will be, you need to answer how many questions? 2 questions. Now add all of this. 20 plus 24 is 44. 44 plus 16 is 60 marks. So the pattern of the physics paper, I hope you followed, and it is for a total of 60 marks. So I hope you are able to see what are the types of questions you are going to get. And trust me, children, so many children score very heavily in physics. It is so easy to score in physics. The derivations and all those things so interesting and so easy to score. So easy. Once you practice and become perfect, you can easily score. And I wish to tell you one important thing here. There is no need for the Telugu medium children to have some fear in their mind that, sir, you are explaining everything in English. Oh, how will we learn? No need to fear at all, children. I will tell you one small interesting thing here. In the 2020 March examination, our MPC topper for first year is a student from Telugu medium background. The student has studied up to 10th class in Telugu medium. They came into intermediate and they have put sufficient effort and they learned the subject so well. Now they are the topper. So that's what I am telling. The Telugu medium students and the English medium students need not have any fear with respect to first year physics or second year physics. You can easily score marks in the physics exam, but provided you need to put in the proper hard work and learn the lessons properly. That is very important. Without hard work, we cannot accomplish anything. This is what I tell to the students. Your medium of background up to school level is not important. What is the effort you are putting at your intermediate level? That is important. Okay, so leave all your fears aside and study well. Make good use of the classes in this situation, in this pandemic situation. We are able to reach out to you through this platform. Make good use of this. And I kept the lesson as simple as possible for this first webinar session. You might have observed many of the things what we have discussed are a continuation of what we studied at school level. So that is how the physics is going to be even at your intermediate level. It is going to be an extension of what you learned at the school level. Many topics, they are going to be an extension. So do not have any fear in your mind. Please put your best foot forward and be a champion. Best wishes to all of you. And I will like to conclude with what have we learned. The first point, science is exploring, experimenting, and predicting from what we see around us. Physics deals with the study of basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. To test your understanding, I am giving you 2 small questions. What is physics? The second one, what is the principle behind the working of an electric generator? So with this, I hope I have given you a good overview of what is first year physics. I thank my parent department for giving me this opportunity. I thank my coordinator, sir, for supporting me in this webinar session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Subramanian Garu.
Thank you,
This
sir.
was a real good start. The way you have presented it, In very simple English, you have taken a lot of pains in preparing all those slides. The subject was comprehensively and qualitatively. In either ways, I hope the students have reached it, have taken it. Uh, the confidence that you have instilled at these times is very much helpful to the students. So thank you very much. We will work together in future as well. Thank you, sir.
So thank you, sir, for your kind words and your support. Good day, sir. All the best, children.